And welcome back to the Tuned In podcast.
Oh, boys, we're back.
Here we are, baby.
Happy New Year.
We've took a hiatus for Christmas,
Yes,
for
sir.
New Year's, but we had a great holiday.
Oh, yeah.
How was yours, Braden?
Oh, man, it was really good. A little sad not to have, I guess we had a little snow, but it was kind of chill.
Really all in the mountains.
Yeah, not really a white Christmas. That's okay. It was still a magical day. How was your Christmas?
Pretty good. Yeah. Just a nice break. Got to see family, be able to sleep in, not have any worries, right? That's the best part of the break, I'd say. Let's
go. We've had some great sports lately, too. And we also have a really exciting episode coming up today. We, of course, will go over our past 2 weeks' games, actually. We have quite a few to go over. We'll kind of breeze through them. We'll predict our upcoming games for this week. We'll go over our Jazz injury report. We have some NBA news, some interesting things to talk about throughout the NBA from the commissioner. And then we're going to build our Utah Jazz starting five, building around Lauri and Keyonte George. And then, of course, we'll close out with our local sports, some Mammoth, BYU, Utah, today's episode.
Make sure to follow us and anywhere you can find a podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Amazon, anywhere you can find a podcast. We are there. And then check out our last couple episodes. The Jazz are kind of on a hot streak right now. And so make sure to check out our last couple. We've gone over every game. We've talked about the team in depth. Make sure to check those out.
And this is episode 92 of Tuned In Jazz.
All right, so we got 2 to 3 weeks of games to go over.
Yes, sir.
It's been a good time. I feel like, I don't know about you, but my outlook on the Jazz has changed over these past couple weeks. Pretty big.
Yeah, kind of interesting. We're just looking at the standings. We're in contention for the play-in. I don't know if that's what we want. We'll actually talk about that later. But yeah, Jazz are playing pretty good. 12 wins, 21 losses. But you know what? That's better than we were last year. So we'll take it.
Yeah, well, I guess we could start the last game since our last episode was the 20th against the Magic. So we're going back a little ways.
Yeah.
If you can remember these games. But it was our first time we had an overtime loss. We actually won every single game in overtime, 3-0 before that. So finally lost in overtime. But it's a pretty exciting game. I think the play of the game that everyone should be talking about was Keyonte's 4-point play to give us the lead with 2 seconds.
Man, he is something else, man.
Amazing. I don't even know how because a 4-point play is so rare.
Yeah.
And we were down by 3, so that was perfect.
He's done it a couple times. Like the Lakers game, he had one. I think he had another one later this week.
I'm sure he's learned something from Jordan Clarkson. It seemed like he always gets those.
Yeah, totally. I love how Keyonte's just it's interesting. At the beginning of the year, we talked about how he needs to shoot more consistently, and boy, has he, even under
very
pressure.
Efficient.
Yeah. 27, 9, and 4. I was also really impressed with Isaiah Collier off the bench, 18, 9, and 5. Those guys are kind of the duo right there, just coming in, and we always have a combo guard in the game. It's kind of nice. Kind of a luxury we have there.
And honestly, the Magic were not scoring as easily as I thought they would.
No.
Paulo Banchero was 6 for 18.
Mm-hmm.
Not amazing. And then Desmond Bane, he had a really good first half, but I think he had 20 in the first half, but then he only ended with 10 in the second half, so that was pretty good in the second half.
Yeah.
Kind of turning up on him. And then Anthony Black, who's a guy that I've not really been paying attention to, but seems like he's taken a big leap this year.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, close game. We win that on any other night, I think. But just a
big thing is we didn't even have Lauri that game.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, totally. Then we go travel Mile High City, Denver Nuggets. We lose. Jokic didn't have he had a good game as usual, 14, 13, and 13, but he didn't we've seen him have 50-point triple doubles, and he didn't seem to have that this game. They still killed us.
Yeah, I mean I think he had a 50-point triple-double on Christmas
against Minnesota,
which is pretty soon after this, I think, right?
He was like 54, 16, and 14 or so. That was an insane stat.
It was amazing. It was probably the game of the year, I think.
Totally. Against Rudy Gobert, too. I know he gets a lot of hate, but that's a tough matchup for any center, so.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think the thing I remember most, this game against the Nuggets reminded me a lot of that Knicks game.
Mm-hmm.
I think we went down like 20-0 at the beginning of the game or something like that, like pretty similar to the Knicks, and just couldn't really come back from that. Had a really, really hard first quarter, and then even though we won the second and third quarters, it didn't really matter. So
I totally agree.
And I mean, Jokic, he's so good. Like,
as
long as he's in the league, this team's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's hard to defend him when he's the player that he is.
Yeah. I think the real sad thing about Jokic is, so he's going to be out a couple weeks. I don't know if you saw that with hyperextended his knee. They thought he tore his ACL, but it was kind of lucky that he just hyperextended. So he'll be out 2 or 3 weeks, which could put him out of the MVP conversation, depending on how many games that is. Because I think it's 17 you can miss. So anyways, kind of interesting to think about. He could be out of the conversation here pretty soon.
It's interesting because I feel like he's a guy that barely ever is out with injury.
He never misses games. So if it's only 2 weeks, he'll probably still be in the conversation if he comes back to full health that quickly. But
yeah, well, they definitely took care of business with us.
Yeah.
And then we went over to the Grizzlies. Another game without Lauri and without Yusuf Nurkic, which you could tell the difference, at least for me, about kind of defense we were playing. It felt like we kind of missed Nurkic on this game.
I was kind of impressed with some of our guys that stepped up. I thought this was Ace's best regular season game we've seen. 17 points on 7 for 12. Flip had 25 and 13. Taylor Hendricks 21 points. It's good to see those guys step up when their normal guys aren't there to ball out, you know.
Yeah, I love this game from Taylor Hendricks. You know, I'm a Taylor Hendricks guy.
Yeah, totally.
And so seeing him, I think his brother was in attendance, so maybe we just need to get his brother come more often. But he just played really well. I think he scored from the 3-point line. He got rebounds. He got blocks. He got defense. He got paint, driving to the paint, right? So it feels like he kind of just did a little bit of everything this game.
Yeah.
And so I love to see what I'm seeing from him. It seems like he's been getting more minutes since then too.
Yeah, totally. Then we go Friday versus the Pistons, our probably biggest one of the season, I'd argue. Maybe you could argue the next one, but Keyonte and Lauri combined for 61. My word.
Amazing.
Yeah. Those guys played incredible. What else stood out to you from this game?
Well, I guess we both predicted a loss. I think you were closer because you said a close loss.
A little more conservative, yeah.
At least when we were predicting this game, but I didn't think the Jazz had a chance. Pistons are number 1 team in the East. Then we'll talk a minute about the Spurs game. We end up beating them too. But this is just like the best stretch of the year right here for the Jazz beating the Pistons.
Totally.
But I think what really is different about this team to me is just the consistency from Keyonte.
Yeah.
Like we know like the past month or two, we're going to get 25 from Keyonte and that's just a given.
Yep.
And then I don't know if the Pistons have, other than Cade Cunningham, I don't know if they have another guy where they're like, we know we can get 20 plus from this guy every night.
No, they got some dudes like Asar and Jalen Duren, but those aren't like their big point guys.
Yeah, and Jalen Duren, he killed us last time we played him.
Mm-hmm.
He was in foul trouble a lot of this game, and so he didn't really play that much.
Yeah.
And so that was a big reason as well why we did well.
Yeah, I like your point about Keyonte, because one thing I've been impressed with, I feel like last year when we were talking about Keyonte, it was like every episode it was like, oh, he had 7 turnovers this game, or like, you know, I think the consistency,
or 3 for 11.
Yeah, like even it's more than just like a higher shooting percentage. It's like he's taking care of the basketball, he's finding open teammates. He's just like consistently making the right play, which is what you would want your lead guard to do. So he's just been incredible.
Yeah, I think the game's slowing down for him. It's not
Totally.
like I still feel like Isaiah Collier hasn't had that happen as much yet.
No.
Because I
There's
feel
flashes, but
he's so fast that sometimes it's also his weakness
Yeah.
that he's fast because he'll lose the ball or make a bad pass.
mm-hmm.
But I feel like for Keyonte, the game started slowing down. He looks a lot better.
Yeah, he's almost got that, like, a couple times I've seen like flashes of Shea in him. Not that they're like exactly the same type player, but just his ability to get to his spots and then just like take those shots is just pretty awesome. So
yeah, another thing in this game too is I'm a little concerned about the paint defense.
a little bit, yeah.
I think part of that's because we don't have Walker Kessler,
100%, yeah.
and another part is we don't really have perimeter defenders that are elite. In a sense, so I that's probably been the number one concern for me as a Jazz fan is where's our defense. But some games, like, we give up 130 points, but we're gonna score 140.
Yeah.
And so I think that for this Jazz team this year, that's just what we're gonna have to do.
Yep.
Knowing that we have possibly 60 points from our two best players, we could outscore the other team. Right?
Yeah, we can pick up another 60, 70 from the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
So. Spurs, Keyonte continued to play at a high level, plus 18 on the box score, which is just incredible. This was coming off of the Spurs have now beat the Thunder 3 times in the last month.
They were, and on Christmas they beat them too, so that was a big deal.
There was real conversations about, are the Spurs the best team in basketball, and then they come and lose to the Jazz. I'm sure that didn't help their narrative, but
yeah,
great win. I take it back. I think this one might be our best one of the season, especially on the road. That's a pretty incredible win. So
back to back too, right?
Yeah.
And Lauri and Keyonte followed up their 61-point performance with, what is that, 57 each, or 28 and 29.
That's pretty crazy.
Super consistent. They played super well again. And I thought another thing we need to shout out is Walter Clayton.
Yeah.
Shot 100% from the field, got 17 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, a steal, and plus 22 on the court for Walter Clayton. Yeah. So when he was on the court, we were winning as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that in part was whenever Wemby was on the bench, we just dominated this Spurs team.
Yeah.
Like their bench could not handle our bench.
Nope.
And Keyonte played with them a lot as well.
Exactly. Yeah, it's good to look over too and see Dylan Harper played 27 minutes, only had 7 points, 3 for 10 shooting. It gives you a little confidence when you see guys like Ace not play, or I guess he didn't really play this game, but he's just had some, it seems like, rough games lately.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's just kind of the rookie, you expect that because you look at other top picks and they're also kind of, even VJ Edgecombs had games where you're like, yeah, this guy's special, and the next game he kind of is a little slow. So
not everyone's going to be a Cooper Flag putting up 40 as a
for sure, or a Wemby,
right?
Yeah, totally.
And another thing that was cool to me is even though Wemby is Wemby, we were attacking him.
Yeah, multiple turnovers.
Yeah, I think I liked how our team wasn't just like ignoring the paint. Like I think the Thunder's big problem with the Spurs was they just not go in the paint at all.
Yeah, they just take threes,
and they're not really a great 3-point shooting team. And so our thing was we're not going to shy away. We're going to at least try and get into Wemby's body and try and draw those fouls.
Totally.
And I think we did a pretty good job at that. Wemby had 3 fouls, and so I think they had to take him out at certain points in the game. And whenever he was out of the game, we took advantage of that, and it was very good.
Totally agree. Then that takes us to a loss against the Celtics. Celtics are still just kind of a sneaky good team even without Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
I think currently they are, they're third in the East still, which is kind of surprising because you'd think Jason Tatum would be much bigger impact, but they just have a good roster, so I guess that
veterans.
Yeah. Keyonte with 37 though. He just keeps. Do you think he's gonna hit that 40 at all this? Because I think he had I think he had like 23 at halftime of this game, and I was like, oh, this might be it. But
honestly, if they just give him the ball a couple more times, he would add 40.
Totally, yeah.
Or if Lauri Markkanen's like out one night, we might see a 40-point game.
Yeah, I also thought Yusuf Nurkic. I think this was just him taking advantage of matchups. So is it Luka Garza's their guy over there?
Yeah, and Keita.
Yeah, but Yusuf had 26 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. He just was like all around. I thought a really good game.
Yeah, he did really well. I really liked like our team basketball a lot. Even though the Celtics like made a lot of tough shots.
Yeah.
We won 3/4 of this game. It was just that fourth quarter where our lead fell away, and
yeah.
I think big part of that is Celtics are really good setting those hard screens, and we can't get around them some of the time. So Derek White was just having his way with the screen and the free throw line shot.
Oh yeah.
Same with Jaylen Brown. So it's kind of hard. I think this is just like a veteran team. They know what they're doing, right?
I think I saw. We can't forget to shout out Walter Clayton's dunk, because my word, that was insane.
Yeah, does play the game.
I saw Derek White after the game was asked about it, and he said something about how he didn't even know Walter Clayton could jump like that. And I was like, neither did we.
Yeah.
That was pretty incredible. I think Dunk of the Year candidate. I don't know if it'll be the Dunk of the Year, but definitely candidate.
Jazz Dunk of the Year, possibly.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I meant. Yeah, Jazz Dunk of the Year candidate.
And then also, I love there was a pretty cool Keyonte play where he was in the corner, did a pump fake.
Oh yeah.
Spin left into the corner and made the three. That was
and
pretty
1-3,
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some really good plays all around, but
just
really couldn't
nice.
finish it off.
Then we finished our 2-week stretch here with the Clippers. Probably the worst team in basketball, I think, record-wise. They are still, let's see. Second. Oh, I guess they're a little better.
They've actually, I think,
they
started off like the worst
pretty bad,
in basketball, and then everybody was like, "Hey guys, Thunder's got your pick. Like,
you gotta play
come
better.
on!" And so then I think they've won like their past 5.
That's true. Yeah. So they have the same record as us currently, 12-21. Jazz rested on the road trip. Lauri didn't play. Keyonte didn't play. Starting lineup was like Isaiah Collier and Flip and all those guys. Even Oscar Shibwe had some minutes.
Let's go.
But the guy got a shout out. We don't shout him out a lot. He gets a lot of maybe negative conversation in the NBA. But Cody Williams, 18 points.
Is that his career high?
I remember at halftime he had like 14, and they said it was his halftime career high. And I was like,
that's his career high is 18.
Okay, let's go. You know what though? I still think I'm selling on Cody Williams. I was for him at the beginning of the year, but I just think it's like he hasn't started the way I hoped. But I do think that these are the type of games that he needs, just like confidence building games, because that guy has no confidence.
Yeah.
So it's really good to see him just like have a decent game like that. I think it was really good. So. And
I think he's realized that he's not a shooter.
No.
And maybe he could still become one because he is young, but his best chance of being a positive on offense is driving to the rim and either kicking or taking the shot. And so it seemed like he was pretty aggressive. He got 4 free throws, got to the rim. So
yeah, I still think he's a great defender too, just the way his length. I thought speaking of defense, we don't usually talk about this with Bryce Sensabaugh, but I thought he had a really good defensive game. He forced a couple of turnovers, had some like fast break dunks. Even though we lost, I thought this was one of Bryce's better games of the year. I know he's your guy over there, but I was really impressed with him this game as well.
Yeah, and Kyle Anderson had 22 points out of nowhere.
Yep.
I kind of forgot he was on our team, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
tough loss. Obviously, we would hope to win these games against the Clippers, but I guess it helps us too if we're trying to keep our pick. I think that's kind of like the big question still is we're like,
what are we doing?
We're getting to decision time here. Yeah, are we tanking or are we not? This seemed like we were tanking based off of who we rested, but I don't know. You never know.
I feel like we're planning on tanking, and then Keyonte was just like, nope.
Yeah, you're balling out.
We can't do that this year, so at this point, maybe we're just trying to win.
Yeah, I agree. I listened to, I don't know if you saw, there was Old Man in the Three, JJ Redick's old podcast. I guess they still do it with, I think it's, what's his name? Cam Johnson, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Tommy Alter.
Yeah, Tommy Alter, and I think they might rotate who does it with him. But anyways, they did a jazz pod.
Yes, I watched it, or I listened to it.
Yeah,
it was
I listened
very
to
good.
most of it. Yeah, I thought it was... One thing I was really impressed with was that it really genuinely seems like Keyonte likes being in Utah, which I had questions about. Not that I didn't think he liked it here, but you always question that when players are here. You're like, do they like being here? Or is this just where they got drafted? But
yeah. Well, and I think just it's the place where he's grown up now.
Yeah.
At this point, he's been through so much in Utah, it's kind of become a home.
Yeah, totally. And I think the flip side of that coin, I just think Ace Bailey has a lot of maturing to do. I don't think that he was immature in that episode necessarily, but you listen to some of his answers and you're like, this guy has a lot to learn about.
Yeah, he's still learning. Being
a professional and understanding the NBA game, and so we can give him some grace because he's only 19. So
yeah, super young.
Yeah.
Also, they asked the players what goals do you have for this season?
Yeah.
And I really liked Lauri's answer. His was chemistry, really. And I've noticed that on the floor. Normally he's a pretty quiet guy, but not at all this year. He's been up in the huddles talking to the players. He's been talking to Keyonte, talking to everybody on the team, being very vocal on the court. And it's pretty big difference because I remember 1 or 2 years ago, we'd see Lauri just be super quiet, not really talk to teammates that much, kind of just go with what the team wants. But now he's kind of leading the charge a lot, kind of asking other guys to do their job, different things like that. And so I think from what I've seen on the court, he's living up to that goal.
Yeah, and I think that would be hard too, putting ourselves in Lauri's shoes. He would have to be very intentional about that because he's a guy married, he has kids. I think he has kids. I'm pretty sure he does.
Yeah, he's a lot older.
Yeah, and you got all these...
It's pretty much him and Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson and everybody else is 22.
Yeah, so you're you have to be really even, I just turned 27 and I'm if I was in the dorms here at BYU, it would be hard to be friends with my roommates. You know what I mean? It's not an easy thing when you're you might not think it's a huge age gap, but it definitely is when you're at different stages in your life. So I think it's cool that he's making that intentional effort. So that takes us to our player of the week. I hate to do it to us, but I think it's got to be Keyonte. I don't know how else I could give it to anybody
I don't know
else.
how you could either.
I mean, maybe Cody. I don't know. I won't give it to Cody Williams. Maybe
not for one game though. I mean, there's been 7 games.
If he does it again, I'll throw him a bone. But Keyonte just... I think the last couple of week stretch he's had has been just some of the best basketball we've seen from him. We've said that every episode, but hitting clutch shots against the Pistons, the Magic. He's also hit a lot of really late game shot, against the Celtics. He hit some really good shots. So
you got to give him player of the week for that.
Totally.
Magic 4-point play. Absolutely. You got to give him the Pistons game winner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many points he's scored this past 2 weeks,
you
right?
have to, yeah. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. So, I mean, he's quietly running, not really quietly, but he's running away with the award. So
yeah, player of the week standings, Keontae's got 6. Ace, and then the next guys only have 1. Lauri and Ace both only have 1.
Oh,
so
my word.
How many weeks are in the season? I guess Keyonte will find that out.
Yeah, we're getting to the halfway point then almost here in a week or two. So, yeah, that'll be kind of interesting. 4 games coming up this week, though. Start on Saturday, tonight, actually, against the Warriors. The Dubs have had an interesting start to their season, up and down a little. How do you think the Jazz could do in this game?
Okay, last time we went to the Warriors wasn't pretty.
No.
I think we lost by double digits. So I'm thinking just a slight improvement from that. I'm going to say we lose by 5. So it's not a double-digit loss, but it's a close loss is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
And I think we should have Lauri and Keyonte back since they didn't play against the Clippers, but we'll see.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm saying the opposite. I think we've lost 2 in a row. I don't think we lose 3 in a row. And I think it's time for us to get a little bit of revenge. I could see this ending up as a 12-point win. I'm just going to say the Warriors, they're an older team. I could see them Jazz getting up and the Warriors just resting their guys. It seemed like something the Warriors would do. So gonna swing for the fences there and say win by 12.
I like it.
Then we go at Portland on Monday. We got a day off in between. Blazers are an interesting one. What do you think doing Portland?
I don't know what to do with Portland.
Yeah.
Because last 2 years, every time we go to Portland, I feel like it's a very winnable game.
Yeah.
But this year, it's like kind of hard to tell. They're just above us in the standings, so they're not an amazing team, but they are winning games this year. But I'm gonna say it's a close win for the Jazz. So I think we've shown with San Antonio that we can win on the road.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to be able to get a win against the Blazers on the road, win by 6, I'll say.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. I heard a rumor the other day that Dame is nearing his return, which would be a pretty quick return, but that would be interesting. But I think that the Jazz get the win. I'm going to say back-to-back big wins. I'm going to say Jazz win by 10. Which I
like it.
I guess isn't always like a big win. Like, you know, sometimes you just run away at the end when games are close kind of thing. So anyways, I say win by 10.
Then we go on, finish off the road trip in OKC against the Thunder. Yeah. Always a tough game. What do you say for that?
Yeah, that's a tough. They're just a tough team to beat. I don't think the Jazz have the, especially when you got guys like Chet Holmgren. We just don't have an answer for him matchup wise. And nobody has an answer for Shea and the refs in his pocket. So I'm going to say Jazz lose by 6. We could keep it close. I'll just keep it kind of conservative. So
yeah, I'm going to say a little bit less conservative. I think we've lost by 20 to them before. So yeah. I'm thinking this would be nice. Lose by 10.
Okay.
So that, to me, that's better than we have in the past.
Totally. Yeah. It seems like a couple of our games with them this year, we've kind of started pretty hot. Even had a lead a couple of times, and then they're just a really good team.
Break the game open in the second half.
Totally. Then we play another interesting team, the Dallas Mavericks. Also another young team with a great young player. What do you think the Jazz coming back home? You think they can get the dub?
I think they can get the dub. I think even if Cooper Flag goes off for 60, I think we still got this game.
Interesting.
Because I don't think he can do it by himself. But I'm going to say the Jazz win by 12 comfortably.
Ooh, okay.
We're a great home team, and it seems like we've been able to take care of business against these lower teams as we've been at home.
I like that. I'm going to say Jazz win by 2. I think...
You think Cooper Flag's the real deal?
I really do. I also think that the Mavs have a couple of guys who can just randomly pop off, like the Klay Thompsons can randomly have good games. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, so of course he can, but they just have some guys that I think could make things tough. So I'd say the Jazz win a close one. I can see Keyonte making some big shots down the stretch and still getting us the dub, but kind of crazy that we're at a point in the season where I'm predicting 3 out of the 4 games as a win, but
I don't think you've ever done that before.
I don't think so. So, I mean, I feel like since we've done the pod, we haven't been in that position. And I don't know if we're really there now, but I'm just being optimistic, so.
I like it. And then just a couple notes about our injury report. Ace Bailey's ruled out for the game against the Warriors with his hip.
Interesting.
So he's continued to be out with injury. And then Nurkic is questionable with a toe injury. Markkanen questionable with knee. And Keontae George questionable with illness for the Warriors game. So
interesting.
It's a toss-up to know if we have most of our starting lineup.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see. And then Georges Niang is still out. And who knows, he'll probably continue to be out for a while. And then, of course, Walker Kessler's see him next year.
Yeah. Interesting.
So interesting to see. I bet we'll get Lauri, Keyonte, and Nurkic back for the Blazers game at least, but maybe for the Warriors.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, that takes us to an interesting development. The NBA, currently Commissioner Silver's talking about potentially changing rules to prevent tanking. Kind of interesting. There's a couple of proposed lottery rules that we've heard rumors about. Let's see, the three of them we have being that they are considering limiting pick protections to either top 4 or 14 and higher, so it would get rid of that mid, like the one that the Jazz have. No longer allowing teams to draft in the top 4 2 years in a row, and also locking the lottery positions after March 1st, which would also be really interesting. What are your initial thoughts as you hear all this? Do you agree with all of it or some of it? Or
I think my favorite of those ideas as a Jazz fan is no longer allowing a team to draft in the top 4 2 years in a row. I think that would really make teams try to win the next year. If you're look back at the 76ers with the tank thing, they're gonna get their Joel Embiid, and then they're gonna try and win the next year because they can't get a top 4 pick anyways, right?
That's true, yeah.
And so I think at least you can tank until you get your guy, and then try and win. And I think that wouldn't be bad, especially when the Jazz are trying to get that number 1 pick, and then we can say, yeah, the Spurs can't get it. The Mavericks, you're done.
Yeah,
and
totally.
It gives us a better chance for the next year.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I agree with that concept. I wish it was every 3 years, because I feel like in order to win in today's NBA with the culture we have, you need to have more than one guy. The big 3 thing, the NBA has allowed that to happen for a decade and a half now. Since the LeBron thing, or I guess the Celtics kind of did it before, but I feel like I like that concept though, of not allowing teams to just keep doing it over and over. We've seen, the
triple dipping, right?
Yeah,
Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Jahlil Okafor, Nerlens Noel. They had 5.
The Wolves did it too. They had 3 number 1 picks at one point with Anthony Edwards, Wiggins, and Cat.
Now we're seeing it with the Spurs. They've got Castle, Wemby, and Dylan Harper.
Yeah, totally. So I mean, I don't see anything wrong with maybe if you're building having 1 or 2 years in the lottery, but if we start talking about 3, 4, 5 years in a row, or you're just in there, it's okay, you're not really doing well with these picks, so maybe we move on.
And I think there should be a penalty for sucking 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
if you got that top pick, you should be a little better the next year.
Yeah, totally.
Right. That's how the NFL usually works. You get the bad team, and then you get your quarterback or you get your running back or whatever, and then next year you're hopefully a little bit better.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really think this one about limiting pick protections is interesting, because this one affects the Jazz. Obviously, it wouldn't affect us now, but we've been in kind of this weird limbo where we're we have to be at least in the top 10 to keep our pick from OKC, but we can't play too good. So it's this. It creates this weird half tank that we've been doing for a couple of years, where it's you're either
kind of bipolar.
Yeah, right. So then it creates more teams tanking. At least if we just had 2 or 3 or 4 teams tanking in the NBA, you could just not watch those nights, right? But if you got 13, 14 teams in the league who are just fighting for top 10, you're oh, okay, this is this is getting kind of bad. So I kind of like that idea. I hope that they refine it a little bit, but
I wouldn't mind that either. And then locking lottery positions after March 1st.
That's an interesting
one. You think
one.
that would be a good one?
I see the logic.
It's 1 month of you're going to try to win no matter what.
Yeah. I'm not... I see the logic. I don't know if it would do anything though, because teams would just start tanking earlier. I feel is that the result?
Yeah. Do you want to just have tank season and then not tank season be March, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one either.
Maybe March is the perfect time because we got March Madness. We're we're not watching anyways,
Yeah. Well, then in that case, they should let teams tank in March.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. March, yeah.
So
maybe we do the opposite and we say we're only gonna take the lottery positions after March 1st and see how it goes. Just kidding.
I think on top of the not being able to draft top 4 2 years in a row, just because I feel like it's been so bad for the Jazz the past couple of years, I think if you're not getting top 4 and you're if you had a top 4 odds and did not get it, the next year, if you're also top 4, you should have higher odds.
I like that.
Something like that. Because if you just keep getting in that top 4 and never getting it, the tank's going to go on forever,
Yeah. That's true. Well, and it does get kind of like frustrating as like a Jazz fan because you're like, you look at teams like the Mavs and Spurs. Historically, they've had like a lot of luck in the draft, and this year neither of them were really that bad of a team going into the lottery, and all of a sudden they're both 1 and 2.
That 5% really went a long way. You know?
And you're like, what? Like the Jazz, like were literally, this is a miserable season, and it's frustrating. So yeah, I like maybe like messing with the lottery odds. I think could be an interesting idea too. Yeah. I think even going back to like, because the lottery odds used to be more extreme. Like it was like 18% or something for the number 1 pick if you were the worst record, and so like you didn't really have motivation to lose if you were the 10th or 11th team. You're like, our odds aren't really that high, you know.
I think the flattened odds was supposed to stop tanking.
Yeah, it didn't.
But really, I think it just prolonged tanking.
Yeah.
Because like a team didn't get it one year, they're like, all right, we'll just try it next year.
Yeah,
you know? And it's just, maybe they're winning a few more games throughout the years, but their rebuild just takes way longer because they're going to have these mid-level picks for more years.
Yeah, totally agree.
Like, look at the Wizards. They probably could have rebuilt a lot faster if the odds had been better for them.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, that takes us to our first fan returns for All-Star voting have come back.
Have you voted yet?
I actually haven't voted. I probably need to because...
Are you even a real fan?
I know, right? It's
I voted one time on like the 3-for-1 day, so it counted as 3.
Let's go. Interestingly, the only Jazz guy listed is Lauri. He's 16th in the West currently. Not very good. Keyonte nowhere to be found in the top 20 in the West. One interesting development that I'm seeing though is this what they're going to do with LeBron James. I keep seeing conversations about that. I feel like you can't leave him out. But I mean, he doesn't belong.
Yeah, I don't think stat-wise he makes it.
But Kobe made it his last year. Jordan made it his last. How are you going to leave?
Dirk and Dwayne Wade made it just because of fans.
That's what I'm saying. How are you going to keep LeBron out? I don't think you can keep him out, honestly. But right now he's 9th in the West. I don't think that's good enough to get in.
If he gets in, he's taking Lowry's spot, you know? Because arguably Lowry might make it over LeBron if you're like trying to be just unbiased. But there's no way LeBron doesn't make it. Like, it's LeBron.
Yeah, it's top vote getter was Luka at 1.2 and Giannis at 1.19. They're both pretty close. Kind of surprising that Jokic and Shea weren't 1 and 2, but they're both up there as well. Any other surprises on the returns?
Denny Avdia having 600K.
Yeah.
And I don't really think most people know who he is.
No, he's balling out this year.
Yeah, he has like more votes than LeBron, more votes than KD, more votes than Anthony Davis, Jamal Murray, Devin Booker, Jimmy Butler. All these names that I'd think would be higher just because of people knowing them. Yeah. No, Denny Avdia, man. Everybody loves him, I guess.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if that is... I mean, he is playing really well this year, but do you remember the year that Zaza Pachulia was like top 5?
Yeah, but that's because of Warriors fans.
Well, but it's also because of his like home country. People were all like just excited that he was like... I don't know where Denny Avdia is from, but maybe I'm making an assumption there. But
maybe Israel. I'm not sure.
Maybe, yeah. But anyway, that just makes me wonder if.
I mean, he's averaging like 27 a game.
That's pretty good.
He should make the All-Star game if the Blazers are any good.
Yeah, totally.
But it's just surprising to me that he's got more votes than KD and LeBron. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, another guy that's kind of surprising I thought might be higher was Michael Porter Jr. He's been kind of balling out mostly because he doesn't have anybody else on his team in Brooklyn, but he's 10th in the East, which is kind of a little surprising, just given what he's done already.
Norman Powell, 18th. I think he could be higher.
Yeah, totally.
Joel Embiid, 17th. Paulo Banchero, 19th.
Anthony Davis does not belong anywhere near 13 where he's at.
Yeah.
Has he even played a game this year?
He's been playing a lot.
Oh, has he? Okay, I was going to say.
Low-key Cooper Flagg could be higher than him, though.
Yep. Probably.
Honestly. But yeah, I feel like it's decent, but we've got some work to do to get Lauri and Keyonte a little bit higher on the list.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't voted, go ahead and vote. Make it like your tab on your bookmarks on Chrome or something.
Totally. We need to get Keyonte. I think, my personal opinion, I think Keyonte is more deserving than Lauri at this point in the season. That's my opinion. But I do think that both of them deserve to be in the conversation. So we got to get those guys up there.
And if they don't, I think Keontae's a front runner for most improved player.
Oh, totally.
And
totally agree.
Yeah. Maybe if a couple injuries happen, that one of them could sneak into the All-Star.
Yeah, totally. Well, that takes us to, we've been talking about this a lot, actually. I feel like in the summer, we're having conversations about, like, do we trade Lauri, rebuild around,
putting on our GM
get a
hats.
piece, right? Like, I don't think either of us were really on team, like, build around Keyonte at the beginning of the season.
I was on team, let's let go of Keyonte after this year, but that's changed.
But I feel like at this point in the season, at least where I'm at, is I'm like, Keontae's a really good player. Lauri's a really good player. I think we could build the right team around them. It would be tough, but I would still want another high-level scorer. Anyways, so we decided this episode we're going to try to build the best starting five that we can around Lauri, Keyonte. So this will be kind of interesting.
With the restriction of salary cap. Low-key, we could have kind of cheated because rookie deals, guys make like $10 million when they're an all-star, but we're saying $150 million, and it's not necessarily about the players that we're putting around them.
125, right?
Oh, yeah. $125 million for a starting five, and then Lauri and Keyonte. Keontae's only making $4 million this year. Markkanen's making 46, so we'll give that a nice even 50.
Yeah. So we got a nice 75 to work with, roughly.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting. So I guess we'll our point guard's easy. Obviously, I assume you have Keyonte at point guard or not shooting guard.
Yeah, I guess my other guard could also play point guard.
Okay, fair enough.
Or shooting guard.
I'll let you start. Who do you got as your?
So you might see a theme starting with my guys, but for my first guard, I'm gonna do Derek White.
Ooh,
with Keyonte.
Okay.
He's making $28 million this year, which is a lot, but I think it's worth it for the experience, and shooting and defense is what I'm looking for, because I think Keyonte can handle the ball a lot of the time, but so can Derek White, and he can get around screens like anybody.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, a couple guys I was looking at was Dyson Daniels, Derek White, Drew Holiday. I just need a guy that's I know is going to be able to fight through screens and be like guarding the best player on every night.
Yeah.
Or best guard anyway.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength there, I think. If these two guys are who we're going to build around, we need some defense because we can't just score 150
That's our biggest
every
weakness on this team.
So my shooting guard, I got Lou Dort.
Lovely. I love that. I love that.
I think he's making 18-2 this year. And we're going with just like our pick of the players. Obviously, like maybe these aren't all realistic. Like I don't know if we'd be able to get
more
Lou Dort.
archetype of player.
Yeah. I just love Lou Dort's ability to like just such a rugged defender. I think he's a decent shooter too, which wouldn't hurt. Like you're like
he's very inconsistent, but when he's hot, he's hot.
You have to respect his shot at least. You can't just leave him open kind of thing. So I think he'd be like perfect next to Keyonte. He could switch with Keyonte.
He gets around screens very well.
Yeah, totally. So that's what. And then this is kind of interesting because I don't have Lauri. I think he's more of a power forward, so that's where I put him in my lineup. But do you have him? Oh, you do too. Okay.
I've got him at power forward, and I've got a small forward.
Okay, who do you got at your small forward?
Digging into my bag a little bit with this guy. I think he's on a very good deal. I'm getting Tumani Kamara from the Portland Trail Blazers.
Hot this year. Yeah,
he's just a 3-and-D wing, really, and emphasis on defense. He's got long arms. Mm-hmm. He can fight around screens. He's kind of similar to Jaden McDaniels, but a little bit cheaper. Yeah. I needed a little bit more money. I like that. I went a little budget on Tumani Kamara, and I think there are there's some upside for Taylor Hendricks to maybe become this type of player in the future, but who knows? And maybe Ace Bailey as well could become kind of a 3-and-D defender. Yeah. But Tumani Kamara is also shooting lights out from 3, so I love that about him.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we're totally on the same wavelength here. I think, so when we set 125, I was like looking, I'm like, man, a lot of my guys are rookies. They're pretty cheap. So this was my splurge one a little. I got OG Anunoby.
Ooh, I like
He's
it.
making 39.5, so he's a little up there. But I just like really like his ability to play defense. I think if you had him and Lou Dort on the same team, that would be just mind-boggling good defense. Like you wouldn't even. And I think him and Lou Dort are good enough scorers next to Keyonte and Lauri that you don't need them to do a lot, but they still could, you know. So, anyways, I think OG would fit real nice at small forward if we had Lauri at the 4.
I like it. Then Lauri's at their 4, and then maybe I'll ask you who you got at your center.
Well, maybe it's a hot take, maybe it's not. I think Walker Kessler's the perfect fit.
I was thinking about that too.
Really, I feel the need to look her. I just don't. The only thing, I think that there's not really there's not really that many great centers in the NBA, and I feel like Walker Kessler's among the really good centers, that they're all just kind of the same archetype. So unless we could get Jokic or Embiid or Chet or Wemby, which we couldn't, I think Walker's just as good as he's going to get paid this summer too. So I think he would.
Yeah,
fit.
Even if it's not here somewhere.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, I think he's the nice fit with both of those guys. So
I made my team, and then after I made it, I was thinking actually I'd probably just keep Walker.
Yeah,
and fair. So I didn't pick Walker, but I picked a very similar player. I picked Jared Allen.
Okay, yeah.
I just really think since Markkanen can shoot lights out, we just need a guy that's going to rebound, block, and dunk.
Protect the paint,
And I think Walker Kessler does that, but also Jared Allen.
Totally, yeah.
And so I just think that's the archetype of player. We just need a guy. Yusuf Nurkic does that sometimes, but I think Walker Kessler's a little better at it. And really just doing the dirty work. And if they can step out and hit a 3, great, but I don't even think that's really necessary. If they can't shoot, it's probably still all right.
Yeah. I think I debated between Walker and a guy that I still just really love, who's started just really amazing this year, is I really like Derek Queen. I don't know why. Just
really? Because he's not very tall.
Yeah, it would be a small lineup, but I just really like his, he's kind of got that Jokic in him where he's like a really good passer from the top of the key. Can shoot a little bit. I guess Walker kind of showed that a little too this year.
We might have some of that in Filipowski.
That's true. But he's also just a big dude that can play in the post, throw his weight around. Anyways, I like Walker Kessler there, but I considered putting Derek Queen in there, even though he would be pretty cheap too with his deal. So
I like it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think we were on the same wavelength with a lot of that just because of defense. We know the Jazz give up 120 a game easily. And so maybe a couple defenders could help with that. And then maybe we could keep some scorers off the bench like Clayton and Sensabaugh or Collier or whatever it may be.
Bring Taco Fall back. Those type of guys.
And then do you think any of the players, I know we already had Kessler on our team, but as yours at least, any of our other players could fit into those roles? And I know Taylor Hendricks we talked about maybe, or Cody Williams. You kind of give up on him, but the goal in drafting him was that he'd be like that type of player.
Yeah, I still just really am in love with Ace Bailey's game. I still think I feel like he's just kind of gotten the short end of the stick because those two guys have been so hot, and maybe he just hasn't had opportunities to have the ball come to him. I still think Ace Bailey could be a really high level scorer, so I wouldn't mind.
And defender, do you think?
I think that's the one thing he has shown this year is active hands. He's just got real long arms.
I don't think IQ-wise, he's still got a lot of room to grow.
For sure.
But I think once he starts learning the game a little better, I think he's got the body and the tools to be a good defender.
Yeah, totally. I wouldn't mind seeing him stay.
Do you think Isaiah Collier could be a primetime defender? Hard to say.
That is hard to say. I do think he brings a lot offensively with his playmaking ability, but that's a tough. I'm still split between Walter Clayton and Isaiah Collier. I feel like I don't know which one I would pick if I had to pick a backup point guard right now. I mean, it is Isaiah Collier right now, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think Walter Clayton's come in and shown I'm here. But I think neither of them are really good defenders. So
Isaiah's had a pretty good after his injuries. Had some good games too. So I don't know. It's interesting.
But either way, I feel like one of them would be better off the bench.
Yeah.
Just unless they can become a better defender.
Yeah.
But
And John Tonje is going to win an MVP at some point. That's all
G-League.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So
anyway, but I love it. I think that would be an ideal team.
yeah. And head coach, anybody but Will Hardy. Just kidding.
And AJ DeBonsa fit pretty good at that 3 as well.
Low key. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, even that's the one thing exciting about this draft, even though I don't think we'll get in the top 3, is like any of those top 3 guys, I think would, like Cam Boozer would fit nice. Darren Peterson, that dude is so special.
Yeah,
Ugh.
he could fit great alongside Keyonte.
Yeah, he's not even really a point guard. He plays shooting guard at Kansas. You're like, you could just slide him right in next to Keyonte, and they'd just be probably the best front court in the NBA.
Or back
court in the NBA, sorry.
No,
yeah.
definitely.
Anyways, kind of interesting.
Well, should we get into some local sports?
Yes.
We've had a lot of ups and downs with our Mammoth
Yeah,
recently.
man. Rough. I think we've been out without, was it Logan Cooley's been out?
Yeah, I think he's been out for a
I
while.
think he'll be out for another month or so. Utah Mammoth are 19-19-3. I think we've been 2-2 since our last episode.
Yeah.
Just we've had some really hot games, like 7 goals against the Islanders, I believe, and then we
Hat trick for Dylan Gunther, right?
yeah, that's right. And then we just turn around and have a couple of duds. Just I don't know, kind of middle of the road. It could be worse.
I mean, we were up 2-1 against the Predators and just blew it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to see,
Man.
hard to feel confident when you can't keep a game.
Yeah, totally.
And I feel like other teams are so much better than we are in power plays. Like a lot of teams just know how to score it in them, and I feel like we struggle a lot.
Totally. BYU starting conference play tonight. Kansas State.
This morning, actually, I think it's at 11:30.
Yeah,
right?
like 30 minutes, 40 minutes,
Yeah.
45 minutes. Yeah, how do you feel going into conference play? It's been kind of an interesting non-conference. A lot of high-level games.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we're going in with a lot of momentum.
Totally.
Winning, I think, what are we on, like a 5 or more game win streak?
Mhm.
I've played some cupcake games, but
Yeah.
I'm ready to play Kansas State. I think we could beat them.
Totally.
It's a road game, so that might make it a little bit more difficult, but I think we're coming with all the confidence in the world.
Totally. And we got some tough. I think Arizona's here in a couple of weeks, and they look like they might be the best team in college basketball.
Yeah, them and Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. Duke's looked really nice, even though I think they lost the other night. So there's just a lot of Big 12 has a lot of great teams as per usual. This is going to be. I think Kansas State's a nice warm-up game to the Big 12. I don't think that they started super hot, and we could just come in and impose our will, hopefully. So.
Yeah,
and
I
our
guess
boy.
what do you think of Mir Abdullah?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be good. I just think that first game, he's only played in 1 game, right, or 2.
Yeah, he played against Eastern Washington.
That's right. I just think it's tough to join after 12 games or whatever it is. I think he's gonna find his footing. I think our biggest weakness has been post defense, and he's got a lot of size. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
So I like the fit. I think he's just got to warm up a little, and I think he's going to be nice.
If anything, I don't think he's got that much pressure on him because he's a backup center.
Yeah.
Where really all he needs to do is rebound and
low
block.
key the third string center behind Kadeem and
True.
Jaba. So
Yeah, and him and Kadeem could maybe even be on the floor
play
together.
Totally.
Kind of a rebounding duo.
Yeah, totally.
But it should be a good game. I think maybe I'd love to hear your thoughts. There's a lot of controversy with coaches talking about recruiting and transfer portal and all that, NIL. BYU's kind of in the thick of it with getting Amir Abdullah from the G League.
Yeah.
It's kind of controversial.
I'm more upset with the whole... I don't know if you saw Baylor got a guy that was drafted. I just think that's... It's one thing... The G League has changed because you had like Overtime Elite. I know that's not who Abdullah played for, but the G League was kind of like seen as like a path to the NBA. It wasn't necessarily like the NBA, so I don't necessarily think it's the same to get a G League player compared to a guy who literally got drafted.
He ended up being a G League player, but he got drafted.
Yeah, he already kept his name in the draft. Yeah. I just think overall, this could be a whole episode. Obviously, won't make that. I think the NCAA is just pretty incompetent in everything they're doing right now. College football, college basketball, there's just no rules in anything.
Yeah, what they need to do is start like a committee, bring in these coaches that have been around, like John Calipari, and have them work together to set some standards.
Totally.
You've got a lot of very smart guys that have been in the game for a long time that know what needs to happen.
Yep. And nobody knows what the rules are. So if you just establish some rules, then we can start like holding people to them, So it's like, yeah, it's college sports is a mess right now.
I think I liked for transfer portal. I don't know if you've already mentioned this before, but just give a guy one transfer, and then if there's like a bad injury or coaching change or like extenuating circumstance, whatever you'd call that, maybe a second transfer.
Yeah, or even other transfers with penalty, like it used to be. Like you used to have to sit out a year after you transferred.
Yeah. So, but then maybe give them one free transfer. Other than that,
totally. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Cougs played in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Great game.
Comeback win.
Yeah, shouldn't have been a comeback.
I think we've had three or four comeback wins this year.
Yeah, man. Bear just looked so special though. That was probably his
even
best
with a hurt
year.
ankle.
Yeah, he really just like proved that he could throw the ball down the field, even though like he couldn't. He clearly wasn't like mobile. We didn't have L.J. Martin or Jack Kelly.
Yeah, we couldn't run the ball because we didn't have anybody who could run.
Yeah.
So
really interesting.
I also really liked, even though like we gave up 21 points in the first half, we gave up 0 in the second half.
Yeah.
And I know we blocked a field goal. I think they got turnover on downs and an interception. Like the defense really stepped up in that second half.
I don't think they didn't score in the second half.
No, 0.
Yeah.
And that how you come back in a football game in the fourth quarter is because of defense. So
yeah, unfortunately, Michigan noticed our defense in the second half and swooped in and got our guy. But
yep, that's fair.
College football playoffs though are full swing. Got 4 teams left. Kind of not what I expected.
I'm happy about it though.
Me too.
I'm happy. At least Ohio State lost, so we can't get a back-to-back winner. Alabama's always there, right? So let's get them out of there.
The only thing
same with Georgia, get them out of there.
Yeah, the only thing that makes me kind of sad is the this whole narrative about the Big 12. Texas Tech didn't help that by getting clobbered by Oregon.
And 23-0 is embarrassing.
Pretty bad. I don't think it was as bad as it looked, but also I guess there's no excuse. Like you got to score. Like their defense played good. Texas Tech's forced some turnovers, but they just couldn't move the ball.
Yeah.
And one team I really love though, I'm really liking this Kurt Cignetti guy in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mendoza's looking like he might be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Right now my prediction, I think Indiana's going to take it all. I think they're just really good. They haven't lost this year.
Yeah, so. And I hope so. I like them. I think they're a likable team.
I like a non-traditional.
Mendoza's a good guy, and they're a very good football team.
Yeah, he's sharp. So I hope there's just a lot of cool storylines, like Miami sneaking in at the end and being in it still. Ole Miss.
After the committee, everyone was saying the committee shouldn't have let him in.
Yeah, Ole Miss with their interim. Well, I guess he's their new coach, but like Lane Kiffin leaving and then Ole Miss is still in it. Like it's just some cool storylines, So kind of fun.
So I guess predicting it. Let's start. I think it's Ole Miss and Miami.
Yeah, I think. I think Ole Miss gets the win, even though I know there's some stuff with their coaching. I could see them getting the win. I think they could beat Miami.
I don't know. I think I'm going to take Miami.
That's fair. That could be a good game.
I also love my boy Keelan Marion over there. He's been playing pretty well.
That's true, yeah.
But I actually do think they look good enough. I think they could beat Ole Miss.
Yeah, that could be a really good game. And then I'm taking Indiana over Oregon.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking Indiana as well.
And then I think Indiana will beat whoever.
They're going all the way.
But Oregon's sneaky, though. I didn't think that they would beat Texas Tech like that. So Dan Lanning's a good coach, too. So it could be interesting.
Yeah. But I think definitely Indiana's got to be that favorite.
Yeah.
But then we got our boy, Kyle Whittingham, going over to be the coach at Michigan, which there'd been rumors of that for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. As soon as he stepped down and not retired at Utah, I was like, I don't think he's done coaching. I didn't think it'd be Michigan, but It kind of, I'm not the biggest Kyle Whittingham guy, but I do think that Michigan hit it out of the park. Like,
yeah.
They just with their last 2 coaching staffs have been just disaster, like scandals. And you need to bring in a guy that's tough, but also is just like genuinely a good person, like Kyle Whittingham.
I think Kyle Whittingham's a floor raiser.
Totally.
Like, his defense is going to be elite.
Yeah.
And then if you can get like an offensive coordinator that knows what he's doing, I think you're going to have a really good team.
Well, and I think the scary thing is Utah probably had one of the yardage-wise, one of the best offenses in college football this year. BYU had one of the better
run
defenses in the country this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he went and got
Jay Hill.
He went and got Jason Beck, his offense coordinator at Utah, to come to Michigan, and Jay Hill came to Michigan. So he's got his
coordinators.
Low-key 2 of the best coordinators in the country. And now those guys are all going to have 4- and 5-star recruits to play around with. That could be pretty scary.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the rosters fill out.
I know.
Do you think, as a Utah native, are you going to be rooting for Michigan?
I don't think so, but
no. Even with Jay Hill over there too, our guy.
I don't know. I probably.
It'll be hard to see because if there's a lot of BYU players that go over there too, I could root for him a little bit, but
I was getting nervous about that. But I also noticed like guys like Falatau Satchwala, I thought he might leave, but he just committed to stay.
Oh, let's go.
Terry and Alexander. What's the other guy's name? Keanu Tanavasa. He's locked in. So I'm like, a lot of our guys are staying around, even though. And
I feel like a lot of them stay for Coach Satake.
Totally, yeah. Cullen is just a great coach, and we'll see who the new defense coordinator is. I bet it would be Kelly Poppinga is my guess, but
what was he before?
He's like Jay Hill's assistant. I can't remember what his title is. He was like the linebackers coach too, I think.
Okay.
But it could be Gennaro Guilford too. He's our corners coach, so I guess we'll see.
Well, thank you for listening to this episode of the Tuned In Utah Jazz podcast. We're loving this team right now. We're loving Keyonte's leap, and we'll make sure to keep you updated throughout the rest of the season with all things Jazz. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you find us, and take care.
Peace.